Hi, I'm Nina Schur, and here again today to talk about the downsizing dilemma. So, the market is great right now if you're a seller, and I have many people in my age group, particularly, who have raised their children and the kids are gone. They're looking at a pretty good size house, maybe, 4 bedrooms, and they're saying, why do I need this? The house has steps, so that can be a challenge as we get older. So they want a single story home with a first floor master, first floor bathroom, and first floor laundry. And they're ready to sell their homes, or almost ready, except for maybe a little decluttering. But the question is, where do we go? And unfortunately, in our market, in the capital region, town of Bethlehem, as well as other places in the country, New York, Boston, Washington, D.C., I have friends and family in all of those places who are experiencing the same situation. The options are limited. There just aren't a lot of places for us to go, the baby boomers. And the places that do exist and are being built a lot of times are more expensive than the houses that we currently own. They have half the space and the taxes are going to be higher. So we say, well, why should we move? Because we're approaching retirement. We want to downsize our expenses also. And yet, staying in our houses isn't what we really want to do. So this is a problem. And I think that as far as I'm concerned, as a realtor, I've started to go to our town planning board meetings and put some of my input in and talk about the need for more first floor options, townhomes, condominiums that people can, or small ranch homes that people can purchase at a reasonable price. And that's and can those be built? Where can they be built? And is this a possibility?
So you went to the planning board meeting last week or a couple of weeks ago, and I know you're going to start going more often. But what input would you say to them? Like, what were they planning in this particular one in Bethlehem, and what would be your suggestions?
Well, originally the development under consideration was going to, I believe, have single family homes. Possibly larger for growing younger families in general. Now it's kind of evolved to rentals and some townhomes. But most of my sellers want to purchase another home. They don't want to rent. Renting may be a temporary situation until they can move into the home that they purchase. But most of the sellers that I talk to and that I have been representing want to purchase another home.
So they want to purchase a home, but do they want to purchase a town? Is a townhome more appealing than a single family home?
Well, I believe that townhomes and ranch homes that have a homeowners association where they take care of the lawn and snow removal and other maintenance are very desirable. But people are open to ranch homes even without those services, because if you can't do them yourself, you can pay to have them done. So either of those options really are desirable, as long as they can be purchased and not rented.
So just quickly tell us the difference between a townhome and a condo.
A townhome is basically like a house. you own the entire home, and some of them have a homeowners association and some don't. Sometimes the homeowners association only covers common areas such as the entrance or a pool, something like that. Sometimes the homeowners association will cover the lawn care and snow removal. Your taxes are usually the same as they would be on a single family house, for whatever price point and the size, etc. However the taxes are determined. In a condominium, you own the inside of the structure and a share of the outside. So the taxes are lower in New York State on condominiums, but your homeowners association fees are going to be higher because the homeowners association will cover, in addition to lawn care, snow removal, will cover the roof of the structure and the outside of the structure. So if vinyl siding needs replacing, or a door possibly needs replacing, or the roof, it's all within the homeowners association. So those monthly fees are usually going to be higher than those of a townhouse community.
So when you spoke with the planning board or attended the meeting, and you're trying to encourage people because your sellers are saying there's nowhere for us to go,
Right.
and they're asking for townhomes or
Right.
ranches, something
right.
like that. But now the development that you were referring to, they're looking more at townhouses and apartments.
Correct.
So what's the steps here? So they if they do find a place, what they're looking for to age in place, like what's the reasoning behind it?
Right. The reasoning is that when they move from the large home with steps, they're going to another home. Usually people say they're thinking 20 years or so, where as they age, they can stay in this new home and not have to go to a nursing home. They will be on one floor. They will have some of their maintenance taken care of. They can have people in to help them if they need assistance, at a later point.
Mm-hmm.
So but they still want to be independent, and they're still young enough to do everything they always did. So we don't want to go to assisted living yet. We're not there yet, So that's the kind of a situation that most of us are looking for.
And sometimes people wait too long to make that decision, right? They just wait too long, and instead of doing it when they're in their 60s, for whatever reason. So, but is one of the options to maybe talk about converting your existing home if there's no other options? What do you factor in as far as, okay, let's stay where I am?
Right. Well, that is an option for a lot of people. You can put in, chair lifts to go upstairs. You can convert a downstairs living room or another room into a master bedroom, add a bathroom, and those are all considerations, and you have to kind of do the worksheet to see how much you're spending. Is it worthwhile to do that, or is paying a little more for a new construction house over a 20-year period going to really not be so much more than you thought? So, and then with an older house, depending on how much you've done to maintain it and upgrade it, maybe selling it at a certain point and paying more for that new home or a new construction home really isn't going to be so much more when you think of putting in a new furnace or a new roof or other maintenance items, as well as cosmetic adjustments that you have to do as a home ages.
So it's really about right sizing, right?
Right.
So talk to me about the difference. Everybody thinks downsizing means less money.
Right.
But right sizing is...
Right, because it may be not really less money, or in some ways an equal amount of money. So you can say right sizing instead of downsizing, because that kind of covers the different situations, you know, that can occur when you're thinking of this whole process of going to a new home.
Mm-hmm. So what's the market like? Tell us a little bit about what you're seeing with your clients.
Well, it is definitely a seller's market all over the capital region and in many places in the country. If you're under a certain price point, for a luxury home at a high price point, it's still here and in many other areas seems to be more of a buyer's market because there are fewer buyers and a decent number of homes.
What price point are you talking about?
Well, in the Capital District, I'd say over $550.
Okay.
In that price range, it's still somewhat of a buyer's market. Under that price point, you're going to see a lot of buyers and not a lot of inventory. Mm-hmm. So every time a house goes on the market, especially if it's priced correctly and it's, you know, the location is good, you're going to have a lot of buyers and a lot of interest. So houses are selling quickly.
So you're seeing bidding wars.
Yeah.
And tell us about that and the appraisals.
Well, we're seeing a lot of multiple offers on homes, and in some cases the house is selling for more than the asking price, and sometimes substantially more. So that means when the bank comes in to appraise the house and they're comparing that house to houses that have sold in the last 6 months or even a year, the prices are up right now, so substantially. So that house may not appraise at that price, and then you have to go back and renegotiate the price. It can be happen at times.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for this market update and the downsizing dilemma. Nina,
Right.
Is there anything you invite your clients in to speak with you and anyone who's interested in?
Yeah, if you're interested in right sizing or downsizing, please give me a call. And I work with people years before they really are planning to do this, or sometimes weeks before. It really depends on the situation. We have our downsizing workshop that will be occurring again in October, and I'll be back again to talk about that. So that's another place where you can get a lot of information, and I'd love to speak with you anytime and try to answer any of your questions that you have about the whole process.
Awesome. And how can people get a hold of you?
My phone number is 518-368-5578, and my email, nina.sher, S-H-E-R, @huntrealestate.com, and I'm on Facebook, so you can reach me anytime.
All right.
Thanks so much for watching today. Bye-bye.